The Washington State History Museum has an informative new exhibit on display.
Construction is continuing throughout Tacoma on the Sound Transit Link Light Rail line.
And the T-Town Expo is just around the corner.
All that and more on this edition of Tacoma Report.
Hi, and welcome to the first episode of the new year for Tacoma Report. I'm Laura Proctor.
And I'm Angie Foster. There's some new representation on the Tacoma City Council.
During the first council meeting of the year, 4 council members were sworn in. Newly elected District 1 Council Member John Hines and at-large Council Member Christina Walker, as well as re-elected District 3 Council Member Keith Blocker and at-large Council Member Connor McCarthy. Their council terms run for 3 years. The council also nominated an elected Council Member Keith Blocker to the office of Deputy Mayor. That position is a 1-year term expiring December 2020. Tacoma recently made a change in regards to minimum wage. Back in 2015, before the state of Washington had established its own employment standards laws, Tacoma voters approved a $12 per hour minimum wage phased in over 2 years. Starting this year, the state's rate of minimum wage pay is now higher than Tacoma's rate, so employers in Tacoma will now go by the state of Washington's established minimum wage of $13.50 per hour. Details are available on this website. The Tacoma City Council is currently seeking applications for 11 positions on the Tacoma Creates Advisory Board.
This includes 1 position for each of the 5 council districts and 1 position representing each of the following 6 areas: arts, culture, heritage, science, pre-K through 12 public education in Tacoma, and expertise in community engagement or community development. All applicants must be a resident of the city of Tacoma, and they must also be familiar with public programming in arts, culture, heritage, and/or science, and must show an interest in Tacoma Creates goals regarding access, equity, and programs that provide a public benefit. Applications are due January 26th. Additional information on Tacoma Creates is available on the city's website or by calling the number below.
Now that the holidays are over, Sound Transit crews have started up work once again in both the Hilltop and Stadium business districts. Construction in these areas often change, and staying up to date on this project is important for those traveling in the construction zone. Stay informed and have updates delivered right to your inbox or phone. Visit the Hilltop Tacoma Link extension page and click the subscribe button to sign up for notices today.
And speaking of construction, progress continues to be made on the 300-room, 4-star Convention Center Hotel in downtown Tacoma. Interior electrical, mechanical, plumbing, painting, and other work is well underway. Hotel officials say a soft opening is expected to occur in late spring or early summer of this year. Some new technology is helping people in Tacoma get help when they are experiencing a cardiac arrest.
When we come back from the break, we'll learn about the Pulse Point mobile app and how easy it is to be a part of this life-saving community. Stay with us.
Fire departments throughout Pierce County, including Tacoma Fire, have started using a new app called Pulse Point Respond to help save lives. Joining us now is Tacoma firefighter paramedic Mandy Jacques. Mandy, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
What is Pulse Point Respond?
Pulse Point Respond is a free app available to our citizens that will enable them to help locate and find victims of sudden cardiac arrest, perform CPR before we get there to really strengthen the chain of survival and help save lives.
How does the app work?
Okay, so it's easily available on any smartphone. You simply download it. It has instructions on it. You can follow TFD, and that's going to show you all the calls that we go on in very generic terms. There's no private information shared on this app. If CPR happens in a public space, and you are a person who is willing and able to do CPR, either you've taken a class or you've watched videos online, today all we ask is that you pump the heart hard and fast. You don't have to breathe, none of that. A lot of people were scared of doing CPR in the past because they were nervous about the mouth-to-mouth piece. That piece is gone. All we ask is you pump the heart hard and fast before we get there. We should be there in about 4 minutes. AHA says the likelihood of someone surviving a sudden cardiac event are 2 to 3 times more likely to survive if there's bystander CPR. So it's really important that we provide our citizens with this information so that they can help out if they want to.
Technology is so amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, if there's a call that goes into 911 and I have that app on my phone, can you walk us through that process, what happens from there?
Sure. So you have the app on your phone and you have the notification to notify you that you're willing and able to do CPR if someone goes down in a public space around you. If you're within a 1/4 mile radius of that person, someone calls 911, someone's collapsed, they don't have a pulse, that goes to our dispatch, and immediately as they type it in, it's coming through your phone. You're gonna hear a loud alert similar to the Amber Alert sound, and on your phone is gonna pop up, CPR is needed, can you help? You can push OK, and then it's gonna route you a walking path to that person.
Wow.
And you can start CPR, and then we should be there momentarily thanking you for your efforts.
Can anybody download the app?
Anybody who is willing and able to do CPR, like I said.
So you don't have to be certified.
You don't have to be certified.
Just to have some training. I noticed how user-friendly the app was. I downloaded it myself, and it can walk you right through a 30-second or a minute training on doing chest compressions.
Sure.
Because CPR, years ago would be mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and chest compressions, and it just helped me feel a little bit better as a citizen to sign up in the app that I would be able to do chest compressions and help hopefully save a life.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So how long has the Tacoma Fire Department had this?
So we just launched the app prior to the holidays, so it hasn't been very long. I think we have, the last time we checked, we have about 1,900, a little over that, subscribers.
Yeah.
Our goal, of course, is to have as many as possible. 2,500 is sort of an initial goal, so if we could get 600 more, like in the next month, that would be great, and then we'll keep building from there.
Mandy, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you came today to share with us about this new exciting life-saving app, and we hope that you'll come back, give us an update on the effect that Pulse Respond is having for our citizens, and thank you for coming today. When we come back from the break, we'll travel to the Washington State History Museum and check in on a traveling exhibit from the Smithsonian Institute. Stay with us. The Washington State History Museum has been able to attract some world-class exhibits, and their current display is no exception.
Lane Fickey reports on this exhibit, which highlights the valuable aspects of 40 men and how their actions have helped shape our society.
Men of Change, the traveling exhibit from the Smithsonian Institute, is based around 3 words: power, triumph, truth. These are African American change makers from the 20th and 21st century, inspiring people not only in the United States but throughout the world. Tacoma is the second stop for this exhibit, and the Washington State History Museum is the only place you can see it in the Pacific Northwest.
The exhibition explores certainly change makers that are men of color like Barack Obama and Martin Luther King Jr. and Muhammad Ali and Miles Davis, but also names that are lesser known to a lot of people's names who weren't necessarily covered in history books, but did really important things that propelled all of our society forward.
Officials with the Historical Society worked very hard to be able to bring this exhibit, which by the way came in 60 crates, to the Tacoma community, knowing the important impact these men have made in all our lives.
This is important for communities of color to see who those names are, but it's also really important for people outside of those communities of color to also see who those names are. And our mission here is to explore partner with our communities to explore how history connects us all. And it is that moment of connection where we can see these names and learn of these important figures and their contributions to society in ways that really are connectors.
The Washington State History Museum prides itself in not only being able to bring in exhibits that are fun and exciting, but also ones that come with an important message. And this exhibit is the perfect fit for this community.
Tacoma is such a leader in civil rights. The Tacoma Urban League has been always such a really forward-thinking and community-minded group. The Black Collective here, you know, it just was a natural fit to Tacoma.
The Men of Change exhibit at the Washington State History Museum runs through March 15th. For Tacoma Report, I'm Lane Fickey.
On February 29th, the Tacoma Urban League and the Washington State Historical Society will present an awards program celebrating local men of change. You can find out more information, including how to get tickets, by visiting the Historical Society website.
Every other year, the City of Tacoma hosts a City Services Expo for community members. This free community event provides opportunities to learn about city services in a fun, interactive, and hands-on way. Make a note on your calendar and invite your family, friends, and neighbors to the next City Services Expo on Saturday, March 28th at the Tacoma Dome. Stay tuned for more updates as the event draws closer. Do you know a local volunteer that helps to make a difference in the community?
Then why not nominate them for the 2020 City of Destiny Awards? These awards have been honoring local volunteers for the past 34 years. Since the beginning, more than 200 individuals and groups have received recognition for their outstanding contributions to life in Tacoma. Nominations are now being accepted through Friday, February 7th. Forms and more information can be found online at cityoftacoma.org/cityofdestiny.
Save the date for the 13th Annual South Sound Sustainability Expo on Saturday, March 14th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The expo is taking place on the 5th floor of the Greater Tacoma Convention Center and is planning for more vendors, exhibitions, workshops, demonstrations, and space for creativity. Don't miss this event that celebrates all things sustainability in the South Sound through fun learning opportunities. Visit the South Sound Sustainability Expo site to learn more.
And finally, as a reminder, the Tacoma Public Library has synchronized their branch hours as part of the One System, One Schedule campaign. On January 2nd, the main library, located on Tacoma Avenue South in downtown Tacoma, aligned its hours with the rest of the library system. Operating hours are now from noon to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. With one set of hours across the system, it will be easier than ever to plan regular visits to Tacoma's libraries. To find out more about this and other library programming, visit their site. That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report.
A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.